In a little bit more than 1 year, I gained about 10 kilograms of lean muscle mass while staying at about 8% body fat. As you can see, I'm actually quite lean, and I did so by following a very specific diet. Now in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how I eat, what I eat, how much I eat, what split I eat, so that you're basically going to be able to build massive muscle mass very quickly, while at the same time, either burning off fat if you still have, or stay lean if you're already lean. Now the first thing I always hear is, what is your macro split? Like, how many proteins, how many fats, how many carbs do you eat? It's very simple. I don't make a religion out of it, to be really honest, but I follow about a 40-40-20 split. Now 40% proteins, or a little bit less, 40% or a little bit more fats, and 20% kind of carbs. Now the first question I get is, why do you eat so many proteins? Well, it's very simple. Studies show that to build ideal muscle mass, you should eat at least 0.8 grams for each pound of your body mass of proteins every single day. Now, you can eat more than that, but don't eat less than that. Otherwise, you're basically not going to grow optimally. And another thing I want to tell you is to spread out your proteins evenly throughout the day. Studies show that your body can basically absorb about 45 to 50 grams of protein per meal, so you want to spread it out evenly throughout the day. Now the next question I always get is, why do you eat carbs in the first place? Many people tell you nowadays that to burn fat and to stay lean and build muscle mass, you should follow a keto or like a carnivore diet, because that gets you in ketosis. If you don't know what ketosis is, it basically means that your body stops using carbs as fuel and starts using fat as fuel, and that's why you actually start burning fat. But the thing is this, ketosis is an amazing thing. You burn fat and everything, you use it as fuel, but it's not an optimal state for your body to thrive in. Studies show that if you are staying on ketosis for a long time, you're stressing your body. Your cortisol level will go up, so basically your stress hormone, and your testosterone and other hormones will basically get out of balance. And so you don't want to stay in ketosis for your whole life. You could do it by all means if you want to really burn off fat very quickly. It's an amazing tool for many people. But if you want to try for a long time, I wouldn't suggest you to cut out carbs completely, because that would create a lot of hormonal imbalances, and in the long term I don't think it's sustainable. As said, ketosis is a good, amazing tool for our body to survive in situations where we don't have carbs, but to thrive, I think we need carbs. So I eat a fair amount, like 20% of my diet, or maybe a little bit more, is carbs. Now, why do I, not eat too many carbs? But it's very simple, because when you eat a lot of carbs, your insulin is going to go up. When you eat carbs, you're going to have the so-called insulin spikes, and that signals to your body that it shouldn't burn fat, it should actually store fat. Now, if you want to stay lean, if you're eating a shitload of carbs and you're not exercising a lot, you're very probably going to gain fat. Obviously the amount of calories you eat also plays a role, but if you're eating carbs and also fats, then you're going to basically store that fat as fat tissue, and you don't want that, right? If you want to stay lean and build muscle mass. At the same time, a little story, about 2 years ago I was eating shitloads of carbs. Probably 60% of my diet, or at least 50, was carbs. Eating a lot, bro. At the same time, I was staying lean as fuck, bro. I was staying lean as fuck. Why was that the case? Well, because I was burning so many fucking calories. Every day I was getting at minus 20 outside in my ice bath in the morning, and I was walking around in winter, as said, at kind of like 0, minus 10, minus 20 in t-shirt and shorts, was going to school like that. So I was burning a lot of calories just from cold exposure. Then I was running in the cold and I was exercising, and I was basically burning a shitload of sugar and carbs. And that's why, even though I was eating a lot, bro, a lot of carbs, I was able to stay lean. Now, that's why I don't recommend to do it for everyone. But if you're like a runner who runs really a lot, or like an athlete who works out a lot, you can raise your carbs intake. But as a rule of thumb, I would tell you about 40-40-20. Now, the fats. Why do I eat so much fats? Well, it's very simple. If you're not getting your fuel from carbs, or at least not all of your fuel from carbs, you want to have a fair amount of fat because, well, fat is very caloric dense, and your body, when you're going to be in ketosis throughout the day, especially throughout the night, you're going to basically burn fat, and you want to have enough fat storage in order to feel energized and not feel tired throughout the day. So that's why I eat enough fat. So it's basically going to keep your energy levels stable, not that like sugar that gives you more like a spike, but like stable, steady energy. Now, the second thing I want to share with you is how much I actually eat. I get this question all the time. How much should I eat to build muscle mass, to stay lean? Like, people tell you, you know, you should eat more calories than you need. Other people tell you should cut if you want to stay lean. But to be really honest, here again, I don't make a religion out of it. And here is why. I've personally seen that counting calories and basically tracking everything is a little bit of a bullshit thing. First of all, because the calories you are basically seeing on a package are not the real calories. You know, it would take me a long time to explain this to you, but just let me tell you that when you read 280 calories for 100 grams of something that you're eating, it could be either 200 or it could be 350. So it's not 280. There is like a big window of like variability. So first of all, tracking and trying to get it to the one like exactly is bullshit, because the foods you're eating are not exactly what they are saying you're eating. And secondly, you don't actually need to count your calories. Now, at the beginning, you can track your food. I did it, many people do it, and it's really valuable not to try to get exactly at that mark and try to perfectly, you know, hit your everything, your calories, your carbs, your fats and proteins, but it is very valuable because it gives you kind of like an idea of how much you're eating. And so with time, you're going to basically be able to, you know, be there at the restaurant, you order some food, and you're just, okay, those are 300 grams of beef patties, and I know that those are about, you know, pretty much 800, 900 calories, about, right? And so you're basically going to be able throughout the day to assess how much you're eating without needing to track everything. So I highly recommend you to you know, calculate your caloric need based on your sex, your age, your activity level, and everything. You can do it on many different apps, by the way. Yahtzee is the one I used. And then you can actually, you know, track for a few weeks so that you start getting a sense of how much food is how many calories, how many carbs, how many proteins, how many fats, and then you don't need it anymore, bro. You don't need to count everything until the day you die. You just get a sense of it, and then you start following what your body's telling you. That is the best way to know that you're eating enough, not too little, not too much. Because think about this, a few hundred years ago, even just 50 years ago, we didn't have any tracking apps. We were following what our body was telling us. Nowadays, we've kind of like lost that ability because we're there tracking all day long, you know, how much we're eating, you know, weighting everything. But at the end of the day, bro, your body's telling you all the time how much you need and also what you need. And so if you start paying attention to what your body's signaling you throughout the day, you know, it's telling you, I'm more hungry, so eat more, bro. It's telling you, bro, I don't want any more of that, so stop eating. You know, you don't need to hit your calories. Listen to your body, bro. It knows better, way better than you, what it needs. And the more that I actually started listening to my body, the more that I was able to, you know, stay lean, build muscle mass, and actually, bro, feel amazing. Because when I'm eating now, and I literally ask myself consciously, am I still hungry? And the answer is yes, I eat more. Am I still hungry? The answer is no, then I stop eating even if I have more food on my plate. Eating slowly helps a lot to be able to consciously assess, and also asking yourself, am I still hungry? And also what I've noticed lately is that if I actually listen really well to my body, it is actually also telling me what I want. It's telling me often I need more salt. It's telling me often I want, lemon juice or coconut water, because here in Bali it's hot throughout the day, so I sweat a lot, and so very often my body like wants more water, wants more micronutrients, more salt, and more electrolytes, and so it's really communicating with me all the time. And your body is doing the same, but very often we don't listen to it. So try, as said, calculate your caloric need, then try tracking for a few weeks, but then listen to your body and try to really figure out based on what your body is telling you how much you need. It's the best, most sustainable, long-term way to feel amazing, stay lean, and at the same time build muscle mass. Now another thing, and this is probably the thing you have been asking yourself all the time, is what do I actually eat? Now here I don't want to create a big religion about my diet. I just want to share with you what I suggest you to do. I'm not going to tell you eat how I eat. What I suggest you to do is just eat a whole food, natural, ideally organic diet. It's just as simple as that. Nowadays there are people telling you don't eat vegetables, other people telling you don't eat meat, don't eat this, don't eat that. But if you're just eating a whole food diet, like pretty much including everything, bro, but just natural whole foods, ideally organic, and you make sure you hit how much you feel you need to eat, and you hit your your calories, and you also hit the macros, then you're basically guaranteed to thrive, bro. Now personally, I don't eat vegetables anymore. I only eat an animal-based diet. So I eat beef, mainly grass-fed. I eat chicken, pasture-raised. I eat, when I have wild animals, that's amazing, the best of the best. Then I eat wild, small, short-lived fish like sardines, like anchovies, like mackerels. And I eat eggs and fruits. That's it, that's all, bro. I don't eat anything else. And I feel amazing, bro. I personally stopped eating vegetables because it didn't make me feel so well. I felt like I was bloated all the time, heavy all the time. And when I eliminated them from my diet, I felt way more energized and I felt way lighter, bro. When I basically, the other day, I tried to include broccoli again in my diet. Just wanted to test it once, bro. I had no prejudices, I had no thoughts, I was just, let's try this again. It had passed probably more than 6 months since the last time that I actually ate vegetables. And so I eat my normal meal, like beef patties, avocados, butter, fruits, and I just added 100 grams of broccoli. And after that, bro, I felt such a heavy break in my stomach. It was crazy. You can be sure that I won't be eating broccoli again. Crazy, just adding those 100 grams of broccoli and just was so heavy for hours and hours, nearly puked, nearly threw up everything throughout my leg workout. Now it was actually quite heavy, but still. So I personally don't eat vegetables, but you don't need to follow it. If you're feeling amazingly well with them, you feel light, you feel full of energy, then by all means just eat them. But make sure that you eat a whole food, natural, ideally organic diet. Now, what are the things that you want to be avoiding on that diet? It's very simple. Avoid seed oils, bro. Seed oils are bullshit. Avoid them. Avoid all kinds of processed foods that have more than one ingredient. Now, once in a while you can make the exception, but don't eat things that have 50 ingredients in them that you cannot even read. Just eat things that are whole foods, real foods, bro, not processed things, because they're very often filled with sugar, with bullshit things, bro, with seed oils, and so you want to avoid them. Avoid also processed sugar, processed grains, and grains in general. So as an Italian, bro, I know how hard it is to not eat pasta, pizza, and bread, but I'm still doing it because I know that it is 10 times better. So I stopped eating those things, and I suggest you doing the same. Forget about all of those estrogenic things that fuck up your hormones, like soy, like tofu, like flaxseed. And in general, if you just eat whole, natural foods, you follow how much calories you need to eat, you follow your body, what it is telling you, you follow the macro split, and you eat whole, natural, ideally organic foods, you're going to thrive, bro. Now, another question that I really get all the time is, why don't you eat vegetables? What about the fibers? What about the micronutrients? What about this? What about that? Now, it's very simple. I've personally seen from the research I've done that I get all the micronutrients I need with way higher bioavailability. So basically, your body is better able to absorb them in animal-based foods, in meat, in organs, in fruits, in fish and eggs. So I don't need any more than that to get all the vital micronutrients that I need. On top of that, bro, I've seen that, plants are filled with plant defense chemicals that actually rob you of those micronutrients. At the same time, they have those micronutrients, but they're way less bioavailable. So your body is not able to absorb them correctly. And because of the things that they have inside of them, they are basically robbing you from those micronutrients. And so that's something that I don't really want, right? On top of that, I get the fibers from fruit, and I don't need too many fibers, to be really honest. I've seen that when I get a lot of fibers, I feel bloated and I don't feel really well, bro. I literally, like, my stools are not that great. and yes, I feel way better on this animal-based diet. I mean, by all means, if you feel like you want or need to eat vegetables, you thrive on them, go ahead and do it. Just avoid those processed seed oils, bullshit things, and just eat whole natural foods. Follow, kind of like the guidelines for the macros, and eat enough for your needs, and you're going to build so much muscle mass so quickly, bro. And also stay lean, that you're pretty much not going to believe it. Crazy, bro. Because it's kind of like building a temple, right? You are building your own temple, your own house, and so you want to build it with the highest quality materials, right? You're going to live in it for your whole life, so why building it on bullshit materials? It doesn't make sense to me. And yet many people forget about this. Now, if you want to be a sports car, another analogy, give it the best fuel. When they do the Formula 1, they're not giving their sports cars like bullshit fuel. They're giving them the best, absolute cleanest, highest quality fuel as possible, because they have to perform at their best. So if you want to perform at your best, give yourself the best fuel and build your house, your temple, with the best materials. Now, if you want some further help, you really want to know everything you need to build your dream physique, including the exact workout plans, the exact routines to maximize your sleep and optimize your gains, and everything you need, including my personal help to basically achieve your goals, then bro, just check out the link in the description down below. Now, if that is not what you want, don't worry about it, forget about it. But I really also wanted to thank you a lot for your time and your attention, that you came to this point of the video, bro, because I really hope this video helped you out and it cleared some things in you, and that you now are going to basically thrive on this new diet. I'm sure that if you actually follow what I said, you're going to build massive muscle mass very quickly and also stay lean. It's actually very simple, but it does fucking work. So again, thank you a lot for your time and your attention. If you like this video and if it actually helped you out, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to not miss on my future videos, and to show me that you like the video, obviously, also to boost the algorithm and let other young men, get this knowledge and get this help. Yeah, bro, wish you an amazing day, hope it helped, and hopefully see you very soon. Ciao.